Day 11, y'all know the rules, building this custom Lego set of my childhood home. Our 3 channel rules are 20 minutes video every day. Speaking of, let's start our timer right here. Whoops. We got no editing, so these videos are just one 20-minute cut and then showing some progress every single day. Doesn't mean need to be a ton, but we got to show some kind of progress. Okay, so let's see, what were we working on? Let me try some. Oh yeah. Um, let's see. I think we did this yesterday. Yeah, we work on that. I like that idea of continuing on some more flooring. We need to decide how we want to do inside. So like the actual inside of the house is a stained concrete. So the question is, do I just put more concrete and then put some tiles on top of it? Or do we try to go with more of like, uh, I mean, low key, yeah, 'cause it's meant to be smooth. The question is though, like, I mean, it'd be kind of sick to just match. I like that idea actually a lot, just matching this to the outside. If we want to put tiles on it later, we can, but just in case we don't, and for the any areas that end up staying exposed, I think we should do it this way. Um, yeah. So let's just get some of these down, kind of blocking out the main areas. Let's yeah, let's get something else in there instead. What do we need? Like 4 by, how deep is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 by 8. Does that exist? I guess not really. What about like just 4 by 4? Not really. 2 by 8. Anyone new here? Pull up your project and work with me here. We're just building stuff together, just building and hanging out, you know? Say hi in the comments. I will read and respond to every single one. And yeah. What kind of stories should we share today? What has happened back here? This reading nook in here. Yeah, I'll cover that up, so I'm not going to worry about that showing right through right now. But that reading nook was a special spot. That was where we would. Oh, I need 2 by 4. Like on hot summer days, we would. It was like the same routine every day. My mom, when we woke up, my mom was already doing chores or already working, or she'd like just made breakfast, and she'd always have a list on the counter in this main room that of all the chores we had to do that day. And it was always long. There was always no shortage of chores. And I mean, I can't blame her. It was a household of what? It was 5 boys, a dad, and a girl, and her. So, she was running a tight ship. And so she'd always have all these chores for us to do. Like every day when we woke up, like in summer. And it's funny because you'd think we would, like most kids, we didn't want to do any chores, but somehow she made us believe that like someone was doing the chores, which I guess someone was, but it's like we ended up competing to get to the chore first, because some chores sucked more than others. Like some really weren't that bad, and some were just the worst. Like it could be like the difference between like you know what am I trying to say? The difference between That's an awkward spot right there. Why is that? I'm gonna hide this real quick. Actually, can I? Like one of them could be like, take this off the counter, and the other one could be like, or maybe not that simple, but something pretty easy, pretty simple. And then like one of them would be like, wash every single window in the house, which you can see this house has got a lot of windows, including the door windows. And so just like, completely different levels of chores, but I know she did that on purpose because then it was like we were all fighting to be the one to get the easy chores, but really it just meant that all the chores would get claimed. Because then also it's like if you're the one that got the easy chores, you're making sure that the one brother did the hard chores because you're like, I'm not going to do these easy chores and you not do any chores. Like I won here. I won fair and square taking the easy chores. And so, yeah, there's always this fight to get the easy chores. And it worked. I mean, we ended up doing all the chores that we were supposed to. And not that like she wasn't still the most hardworking person I've ever met. Um, so it's not like she got out easy, but at least she had us pulling our fair weight, or at least what felt like our fair weight. Who knows if it actually was or if it's still like, kids help. Um, it's actually so much harder. How do I actually select? There we go. Hide. There we go. Much better. Um, so yeah, that was always kind of funny. But the point was that oh yeah, this little nook in here. She, you know what? We'll come back to that since we're not going to work on this section anymore. But the point was just that, yeah, she was a hard worker and she tried to teach us to be, you know, um, and yeah. So summer, it was our summer routine. That's what we were talking about. So we'd always start off with the chores. Once those were done, we'd always go to the free school lunches. They had free summer lunches, and anyone could just roll up. And so my mom would roll up with her 6 kids on bikes. We'd go to the nearby school, um, walk through the line, get our free lunch, and then and we loved it because like my mom was a big cook growing up. Really, I think just to save money, right? But like we were always ate at home, so it was like such a treat to like eat out is what it felt like. But like it was just free lunch, right? Free summer lunch. I think I don't know. Anyway, it was open to the public. It's not like we were getting anything we shouldn't have. Not that she was against that. She's definitely one to work the system. Still is, but not in a bad way. Just yeah, she'll work the system. If there's something available or that she can take advantage of, she will. Um, so yeah. Um, yeah, so we go to school lunch. This yeah, uh, summer lunch, I guess I should say, and grab our foods. We loved it. We'd ride our bikes there, so it was always fun. And we'd go to the like school's library, or we'd go to the like uh, you know, city public library and just load up on books. Always loaded up on books, and then the afternoon. At that point, it's like we've already swam. We did a bunch of chores. We like rode our bikes down to the school and ate lunch. And so like at that point you're starting to kind of you're just tired, but like in the best way, like in summer day tired. And in Arizona too, like it's so hot in the summers, like you couldn't do anything in the middle of the day if you wanted to. So that's the siesta time. So like I was never a napper. I could never seem to sleep, but then it was you just cozy up with a book that you just got at that you just got at the library and just read. And so I read a lot. I would definitely say, I don't know, was I a bookworm? Maybe. Um, Probably, I'd say so. Um, but yeah, got through a lot of books and loved it. Um, and so yeah, this nook here, this window nook, this was where like we'd come back from the library and just plop down the piles of books we'd gotten borrowed, and occasionally it'd sit on there and read, but it wasn't very comfortable. It was more of just like all the books would sit there. When we'd get home from school, that's where all the backpacks would go. So it was like that was our kids like plop down stuff thing, you know. Um, so yeah, that's cool. Lots of good memes of that. Um, yeah, well, let's see. So many stories. This driveway here, so many times running out this door to come help get groceries from the car from the driveway and just burning my feet on the skating side like pavement. My mom always told us to put on sandals, but it's like as a kid, you're just like, let's just get this over with, you know. Oh, summer days. So that was always afternoons, and occasionally she'd let us have been watch like you remember one summer we watched Phineas and Ferb, like the whole show, you know. And one summer it was A Team, like the old TV show. We love that thing. That do 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 do. Um, yeah, so that was it one year. I don't know, I feel like every summer we had like some show that like all of us kids watched together, and it was always that like maybe 3 to 4:30 or 3 to 5 maybe time period where it's like we had done all our stuff for the day, we'd read, we'd done all that, um, and then my mom would just be like, okay, you guys can watch now, and we'd make some progress in some show. We only had one TV and all of us kids, so it's like you know you all had to cooperate. Um, but we always had some show that we liked, so that was always fun. And then that's when PBS would come on too. So I feel like that was it half the time was like PBS Kids, you know, like uh, I loved Cyber Chase growing up, or Fetch with Rough Men, Maya and Miguel, you know, all those classics. Um, yeah, lots of good ones. Yeah, it's just literally 10 across. It is. Did I leave out? Oh no, that's supposed to be open. Um, yeah. And then, you know, at that point, my mom would have started dinner. Again, big cook. So she'd have us help. I would say I think people would say I'm a pretty solid cook. I like to think I am. And it's fully just because my mom made us help with dinner. Um, and she knew what she was doing. She made it a point of like, you guys are gonna be on your own some point. Like you got to learn how to cook. And so she taught us, you know. Um, I think the biggest thing with cooking is like, I mean, there's recipes, right? Like, and a million videos on YouTube. So it's really just like get yourself that base knowledge and confidence, I guess, so you know where to start. And then most learning is really done over time, you know, just on your own. Just as you practice, just as you actually cook stuff. So I feel like it's the same vibe. But again, like I wouldn't know anything if it wasn't for her. Um, but yeah. Yeah, so we'd make dinner. Sometimes it'd be like, can y'all ride your bikes down to Walmart? She'd give us a couple bucks of cash, ride our bikes down to Walmart and grab something. Like lettuce if we're missing that for dinner or something along those lines, you know. And then my dad would drive down the street. What is this? A 2 by 10, 2 by 8. Uh, you know, I'd drive home from work. My mom was like, she's an expert with timing stuff. Like I swear she would be a CEO if she wasn't a stay-at-home mom. Like again, she ran a tight ship. But she or yeah, she'd let us know when my dad was like close, like basically turning into the neighborhood. We'd all hop on our Rub what do you call them? Why am I blanking on the name? Um, yeah, I'm gonna take this thing down to 2x2 since the other one is. And anyway, yeah, so we'd all hop on our little not scooters, but our ripsticks, and then yeah, let's move this over. And our trikes and our, all that stuff, and hurry down the street to try to catch my dad on his way home, like try to catch up to him, well, that intersect him before he got into our, up to the home. And then we would get a truck for a while, so like hop in the truck or uh, with ripsticks. I remember several times like holding onto the back of his car. I was like, pull me, and he loved it. So he was like, he's a guy dad, boy dad. So he was like pulling us, and on our on our little ripsticks and all that. And so yeah, he just pulls down the street. But yeah, we'd ride up, and he definitely loved that, just like getting greeted by all his kids riding their little vehicles down the street to meet up with him. Um, and then yeah, we'd all get home at the same time, come in and have dinner. Um, okay, I think that's okay. I don't love it. I also don't like. I mean, there is another. You know what? I'm gonna do it. In real life, there is like a concrete pad here. Um, it's really just a small one over there, I think. Let's look at the pics actually. You don't have to take my word for it. If we can get some. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, it's pavers back there. Yeah, we can add pavers on top. But yeah, this is like that door back there. There's the little closet I'm making with the two windows next to it. Come back here, this is the little closet with two windows next to it, the little door there, and then AC unit over there. So I guess we can throw that in. Yeah, I like that. Um, yeah. Yeah, and then we'd all sit up to the dinner table. I'll eat some dinner my mom had made. Again, bust and cook. So good. And then one of the classic sayings my dad, I guess both my parents had, was plate plus five. It was always like get your place setting, like clear it from the table, but then get five other things off the table. And that way, like, when you got six kids, that should clear off the table pretty good. So yeah, that's kind of like the go-to saying. But oh, and when we were setting the table, I guess, before we could go run out to meet my dad is always like, hurry, because before he gets back, gotta get um put two things on the table, but it was like forks and knives, or like plates and cups. And again, I think they definitely took advantage of the fact that we all wanted the easy job. So it's like forks and knives is the easiest because you just put them down together versus like cups or like plates. Like that was always a much more intense, like more work job. And so it's like, got to do it quick so I don't get stuck with this sucky job. Um, let's go that one. Yeah, I like that. Um, so yeah, that was a. Oh yeah, and then we'd sit down at dinner, all eat dinner together, um, and then yeah, just yap an hour, you know? Like that's the hour like you talk to everyone and I don't know, y'all get to really bond as a family during that time, you know? Oh, that's it. See you guys tomorrow.